evening, my dear brothers, sisters. Today is March the 4th, the 5th or the 4th? The 4th, 2011. We are having our regular meditation session. So how are you this evening? Our city is still cold and a lot of snow. But in our practice center, we are very warm by your presence on Fridays. So we begin our night by a song. I have arrived, I am home. This is a very simple song. But when you sing the song, it makes us feel that we have arrived to the present moment. And our home is also the present moment. The present moment is a wonderful moment. You are here and just enjoy the time you are here. Do not lose yourself to anywhere else. Our practice is to be aware fully with what are we doing in the present moment. So please join us to sing a song, I have arrived, I am home. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free. I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I drown. In the ultimate I drown. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free. I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell. My dear friends, first of all, I would like to welcome you all. And also, I recognize we have some new friends tonight. So please accept our warm welcoming to our Friday meditation session. I just back from France on last Saturday night. And soon I come back and the weather changed suddenly. So I also got a cold. And as you know that this year our city quite colder than last year. And a lot of people got flu and cold and stomach ache, stomach flu. As soon as I come back, I receive a lot of mails and emails that people send and share their difficulties, their suffering in their daily life, and they wish that Thầy should give them some advice, some directions, or some encouragement, so they can be more strong on their daily life. And I remember in one of the letters that have sent to me by a man, and this is and in his mail he raised a question. He asked that Thầy, Somebody told me that we should not have any kind of desires. Even if you come to the Buddha, you pray, you ask for peace, for joy, for happiness, that's still desire. And so we shouldn't have any kind of desire. So if that is true, then why we have prayer? Why we always see each other and we wish, I wish you to have peace, health and happiness, etc. Do you understand the question? And I think this is a very reality question, very practical. So let us spend some time and discuss about the question. According to the teachings of the Buddha, the more desire bring more suffering. Because we never, if we are not satisfied with what we want, and we're never happy. There are 5 things that we used to desire. The first one is we call wealth, or sometimes we call money. The second thing is lust. The third thing is fame. The fourth thing is food. The fifth thing is sleeping. These are the 5 desires that the Buddha mentioned a lot in his teachings. And let us contemplate and reflect on these 5 things. How many things we have fallen in? Look like all 5. The wealth, the lust, the fame, the food, and the sleeping. We cannot detach from this. But the Buddha also teaches us there are 2 kinds of desires. Temporary, we can call good desire or bad desire. We still, as a human life, we still have things we want. We want something, always. We need some sleep. We need some food. We need a fame. We need money. But if we know how to moderate and be mindful on what we want, on what we desire for. So this is good desire that you want to establish a practice center so that people can have a place to come to practice, to meditate, to learn, and to live in a mindful way. So that is a good desire. But sometimes some of the desire that we want and we don't care about how the other suffering. Like if we want a position, we may create a lot of things that suffer for others, only to protect our position. Some people, they in a very high position at workplace. And because they want to protect that, they're willing to harm the others. They're willing to push the other down as long as they are, very solid and stable in that position. And that also a desire, but bad desire. So our practice is to be aware what kind of desire we want. And we also need to understand our capacity. And we also need to learn to be limited. I remember in one of the chapter that we will have to memorize as when we become a novice, a monastic. And in that chapter, there is a sentence that I remember. As a monastic, we learn we need to use things, but try these three things cannot be always fulfilled. The food, the clothes, and the sleeping. Less them a little bit. Because the more you want, the more we suffer. Because we never fulfill. If someday we have some meal, and the food is so tasty, and we overeat, do you feel comfortable after? Usually no. That's why in the evening, do not eat too much. Especially if you know that you are coming on the Friday night for sitting meditation. Because if you eat too much, when you come here and sit, you will feel uncomfortable. And the first thing that we always have problem with, we fall asleep. That's why I try not to eat too much in the evening. Especially, I know that if I come with the Sangha on Friday night early. And when we sit down and, too full, we may fall asleep easily. And I used to tease, I used to joke with the young monks. In Vietnamese, sleeping we call ngủ, and G-U with the question mark on the top. It means sleeping. And I told them, if we sleep too much, we may drop out the question mark on the top. And the only word that stay back is N-G-U, ngu. Ngu means silly, stupid. So, ngu means silly. With the question mark on the top, with the mark on the top, ngủ means sleeping. And I used to joke with them, if you oversleep. Because when we only invest our time in sleeping, we have no time to learn. And if we do not have enough sleep, we also cannot learn. We have no clearly when we learn, when we read. So the good thing is we go to bed. We need some sleep. But we sleep enough, it's always give us healthy, clearly. But if we oversleep, that's also cause a lot of sickness. So, the Buddha do not encourage us over something. But we need to follow the middle path. The Buddha have learned and practiced all of the things, and he experienced. If we over something, it never brings us happiness, no peace, no joy. So we need to understanding. I have some young friends who like technology a lot. They save money and they buy a lot of electric things, like digital camera, like iPod, like MP3, and a lot of things like that. A few weeks or few months, I see them have a new toy. I always call those are the toy that he liked to play with. And one day, he came and he showed me his new camera. He have a lot of laptop because laptop always update, and he buy more and more. And I see the danger. So I told this young friend, I said, my friend, your job, your allowance always limit. Our capacity always limit. But these kind of things, they never stop. They always update. How much time, effort, and money can you afford for all of these things? So to me, I have the advice for you that buy something that's just good enough for you to use. If we don't know how to use that, and we don't need that good quality technology, then we don't have to. Lately, you see that we have a friend who come to help us to record our Dharma talk. And then he posts on YouTube or the websites. So a lot of people around the world, they can share the Dharma talk. And one of the friend, when he see this young friend doing this beautiful job, and he came and he said, if you need something, let me know, I can donate. And I told this young friend, if we are going to buy something, we will buy something that, that you're able to use it. If we hear someone will donate something, we buy a very high quality camera, but we don't know how to use it. What for? So buy something that's just enough and you're able to use it. Lately we have the word called bio, right? We use, we call organic vegetables, organic many kind of food in organic, and that costs a lot, very expensive. One of the monk, he met me and he say, Thầy, do you have a digital camera? I say, no. Do you use a laptop a lot? I say, no. You have your own cellular phone? I don't have. He said, wow, you are organic monk. You are a bio monk. I told him that that doesn't mean that I don't want it. But for now, I don't feel that I need them yet. I may need, but for now, I don't need, so I don't have to buy. If somebody donate a digital camera, I give to one of the monks to keep. And I say, this is the camera that they donate for the monastery. So we can use for the purpose to take picture on the activity. As a monk, we try not to keep anything for ourselves. everything that people donate, we donate that for the Sangha, for the community. And because we are part of the Sangha, we can use them. After we finish, we give it back. So everybody can share. And I used to do that. And I told the young monks, Thầy, never keep anything. Anything they give to Thầy or to the temple, they are yours. But we have to be very mindful when we use them. And be careful. If we do not know how to limit our desire, and one day we will jump in the very big hole, a huge trap that we cannot step out. Because the desire never ends. Always want more and want more. So in order to practice taming our desire, what can we do? What do we practice? And to me, we learn to give. Why? Because at that moment you give, you see people happy with what you give them. That touch your compassionate, your loving kindness. And you see that when you're able to give something to someone, you offer the joy, the happiness to them. For instance, sometimes I send the money back to Vietnam to help the poor students. Not much. I only pay their school fee, $100 per year. But they send me a letter, Thầy, you saved my life because I don't want to stop my education halfway. So you're helping, for school fee. And to tell you the truth, I never received that much money in my life. For us, here, $100. Maybe sometimes we say nothing. Just a quick grocery, we can spend $100 easily. But in the poor country, $100 can feed them for a few months. For a full family. So when I receive the words from the poor students like that, I'm very happy because with my very humble offering, my very humble help, I'm able to help them. I can make them happy. And I feel happy. And if you have listening deeply, clearly to the 5 mindfulness trainings that we just read, and you can see the second training is very reality, very helpful. And one of the lines in that precept said, knowing that, realizing that the happiness of the others is my own happiness. The suffering of the others is my own suffering. When you can see that, you're able to tame. You're able to taming your desire, and you open your heart to give. We need to moderate. Nobody prevents us to have something. But before we want something, let's reflect. Do we really need? How much we need? I used to smile at myself sometimes. If I go to some place and people, they have a sign. Okay, this stuff need to be clearance. So these are free. You can get as many as you want. And we will take. We never pick up and look and whatever, we just take. But if they say 99 cents for each, then what do? We'll pick up some, one by one and select. We only buy the good one. But when they are free, we don't care, just take. So at the moment like that, I used to stop and reflect and see, and I talk to myself, we still have greed. In the sutra called the 8 Realizations of the Great Being, last time we have learned about the realizing on impermanent. And the second realization is on the desire. Let us listen to this short second realization taught by the Buddha. The second realization is the awareness that more desire brings more suffering. All hardships in daily life arise from greed and desire. Those with little desire and ambition can relax their bodies and minds free from entanglement. Simple, but very true. If we're able to have little desire and ambition, we can relax our mind. We have no worry, less worry. Let's say if we use something very expensive, one day if we lost it, we would be very suffer. If we use something, in the middle average, if we lose it, not too much, we are not that much suffering. But if we use something lower quality, if we lost it, fine. We're able to afford for another one. And sometimes the desires, the greed, cover our understanding, cover our loving kindness. There is a story about the 2 men who suddenly pick some money on the street, maybe dropped by somebody. So they both open that bag and realize few thousand in that pocket, in that bag. So they both agree they will split this in half. So they say that let us celebrate. So one will stay back and make some food. One will go to the liquor store and buy some wine. At first, they want to share. They will want to divide in half. But on the way they walk to the liquor store, he think, it's few thousand in there. If I divide in half, I only take half, then I have very little. So I may kill the other one, so I can take all. So after he bought the wine, he put some poison in there. So on the way he back home. But at the same time, the one stay back and cook. He also think, if I share this money with that guy, I only have little. So I rather to kill him to get the all. So he put some poison in the food. So after they both meet together, and the other say, my friend, let's celebrate our lucky day. Cheer. So they both, the other one drink, but the one who put the poison, he know it, so he never drink. So the one stay home, stay back and cook. Actually not at home, it's on the street or somewhere. So the one who drink the wine die after that because of the poison in the wine. So after the one who offered the wine say, now all the money belong to me. Let me celebrate by myself. I will enjoy your food. So he picked up some food and he ate, and he also died because the poison in the food. They both died. After they die, there are some birds. Smell the good food. The bird went down and take the food, and the bird died because the poison in the food. So the story, and after that story, they give us a sentence to remind us. Human die because of money. The bird die because of the food. So that show us, if we are not limit, and if we are not controlling or taming our greed, our desire, and sometimes we have nothing, we will die because of what we have created. So remember the law of cause and effect. Very real, very fair in reality. You will receive what you cause. So in order to practice, we know that in us we have greed, we have desire. But what kind of desire? If the Prince Siddhartha, he does not have the desire to find out a way to help himself, to help the others, he never renounced the throne, the palace, went into the forest and practiced for 6 years and 49 days of meditation under the Bodhi tree, and he never attained the fruit as the Buddha, and he never want to give us the teaching and the lecture. So because Siddhartha, he has a desire. And what is his desire? Desire to find out a way to help others. If monks have no desire, we never ordain as a monastic. We have the desire to practice, to become a monastic, to learn to practice, so we can share this path, this peace, these joys to others. If we do not have a desire to build this practice center, and today is not possible. We don't have a chance to see each other like this every Friday. So remember, desire not always mean bad. But we have to understand what kind of desire. So desire itself, nothing bad. But if we do not know how to mindful and reflect on desire, things we want, and things can turn around and kill us, and damage and destroy us. For example, money itself have no good, no bad. Nobody can say money is bad or money is good. Good or bad, it depends on how you use the money. You work very hard to save some money. You don't know how to use them. Gambling, drinking, drugs, alcohol, that only waste the money. Also destroy, damage our body. So the fifth mindfulness training is nourish and healing. We need to nourish this body and healing the wounds in us. So the 5 mindfulness trainings are very wonderful. So that's why we call wonderful training. The more we practice based on the 5 mindfulness trainings, the more happiness we can bring for ourselves, our loved one, and the society. Let's imagine if each of us, we know how to practice these 5 trainings, we can turn this entire world into heaven, into paradise, into the Pure Land of the Buddha. We do not need to go anywhere in order to experience the heaven right in this place, right in this world. But we have to have the technique, how to make it. We need some food, but we have to know what kind of food can we take in order to nourish us and healing us. And if we do not know how, the more food we bring into the body, the more we make this body sick, the more we make our mind sick. So the 5th mindfulness training is mindful on consumption. The second precept, the second training we learn is our true love, our sharing. What we call the happiness. Happiness is we use things as we want. We use things as our capacity. We do not overuse them. And anything we have, we learn to share. We learn to give. I have told you that one day I went to Kingsway Mall, and I passed by the place where they sell T-shirt, they sell sweater, only $10. And that looked, very fit for me, and the color is also fit for a monk. I pick it up, $10, I can afford. But a minute later I think, am I going to use this often? Because I know that I have enough. But this $10 can help a family in Vietnam or in poor countries. Because I know I don't need this weather that much. I already have some. I know it's cheap, it's nice, but I also know that I'm not really needed. So I'd rather to save the money and help the others. When I was around 12, 13 years old, I have not much money in my pocket. Sometimes 25 cents, sometimes 50 cents. But when I want to buy some candies, I always think, this candy costs 15 cents. I just put in my mouth, few chewing and gone. But if I save this money, later on I have $14. I can send back to Vietnam and help people. So I leave the candy down. I walk away from it. I know that I'm able to help others. Because at that time, if you can save $14, you can exchange $10 US, send to Vietnam and help. And we have the program to help each family $10 per month at that time. And as a young boy, I don't have much money, but I know I try to save many days that I can save $14 to help. I share this with you, especially with young friends. We should reflect that how fortunate we are. We live in this society, we have everything, food, clothes, and very, luxury life. But it's more beautiful if we can learn how to give, how to share. And the more we do that, the more beautiful we are. Because we understand many people, they don't have the fortunate like we are. And if we are not here now, we back in our own country, we may not have a life like this. So reflect. Mindfulness is the heart of the practice. Anything we do, anything we want, we should be very mindful. And that mindfulness can help us to create more happiness, more peace, more joy. So please understand that desire is not always mean bad. But if we do not know how to cultivate a good desire, that's really bad. But if we're able to create the good desire, and that will bring a lot of happiness for others and for ourselves. Thank you for your listening. I hope you do enjoy your weekend. May I invite you to sit properly and enjoy your breathing while I am inviting the 3 sounds of the bell.